Hi friends, I'm Jitendra and today I will show you how to build and deploy the ureceipt project which was provided by Alan in the agile class. So far we are trying to build and deploy the project in one stage and we are not able to see any changes getting made in the application, and that's what the issue is. Even if we are trying to build and deploy in two separate stages, the build process is getting failed. Sometimes we get an error of unauthorized access. So I would be showing you in this video to how to successfully build and deploy the UDC project in two stages. So you go on hub.just.net, click on login, enter your IBM ID, password, click on login. Click on explore projects, search for Alan Khan ureceipt. Click on ureceipt. So this is the project we require. So we will fork the project, and so we'll get a copy for that. So click on fork project, and I'm going to name the project as ureceipt demo. If you want, you can uncheck this if you want to have a public project, and just make it sure that these fields are correct. That is, region is pointing out to the IBM Bluemix US South, organization is basically a Bluemix ID, and space is dev. And if these fields are correct, then click on create. It will take a while. Okay, fine. So we now have a copy of Alan's ureceipt project. The first thing we need to do is we need to set up the build and deploy stage. So click on build and deploy, click on add stage. The first stage would be the build stage, so I'm going to name this as build, and SCM repository, agile programmers, that's the name of our team. Alan Khan, you receive default component. Okay, so one thing over here I need to point out is sometimes uh, you will get a auto-filled password over here. Uh, just erase that password and retype it. Click on jobs, add job, build. It would be an and type, and leave this field blank because we are going to use the root directory for saving the project. And this is the archive directory. I'm going to name this as ureceipt, and I'm going to enable the test report. Okay, fine. So this is the build project, and click on save. the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to add deploy stage. So click on add stage, and I'm going to name this as deploy to dev, and just go further, build artifacts, build. Okay, fine, so these settings are good. Click on jobs, click on add job, select deploy, and couple of things I need to point out is in the script uh, which Alan has given, you have to use a unique name for your application. So after this cf push cff command, it is -n, and then the name of the application you want to use. Just make it sure that you don't use ureceipt again over here, because that is already been used, and if you are going to use it the same, it is not going to build properly. So I'm going to copy this, my application name, paste it over here, and then -p space. Now every project creates a war file. Basically that war file contains the entire package. It is a executable binary, so ureceipt dot war. Next command, cf create service MySQL 100 MySQL -n6. So we have created MySQL service. Now we need to bind this service for the application. So cf bind the service, app MySQL -n6. Yeah, so this is the deploy script. Again, I'm pointing out that you need to have a unique application name over here. If you are again going to use the ureceipt which Alan has provided in his video, this is not going to work, because every application has a domain. In that domain, this name is going to be getting added, so this needs to be unique. So in my case, I'm using it the same name of the application over here. Yeah, so if this is perfect, if this everything is done, then just cross checking the other stuff. Yeah, so just click on save. Yeah, so the next step is we have to edit a file called as manifest.yml. Do not click on build and deploy, because then it's going to build a wrong version of the file. We have to change the manifest.yml. So before clicking on build or deploy, go to edit code, fine. So this is our project structure. In this you have a file called manifest.yml. Click on that. Okay, so there are a couple of things you need to be careful in this file. Something known as host and name, that is application host and application name. You need to change this name. If you are not changing this name, then your build is not going to be built properly. So I'm going to use the same name what I used in the deploy job, that is ureceipt demo, and this is again ureceipt demo. My host name and the application name are the same. You can keep both of the names same, but make it sure that it's not ureceipt, because that host is already been used by Alan's project. So if you're not going to change it over here, it is not going to build successfully. So this is one of the important steps you need to do. Then this is fine. Ureceipt slash ureceipt.wat. Basically this is the file which is getting, each time you do a build process, this file gets uploaded on your project. This is the main file. It's basically over here. Fine. So after configuring this, click file, save, and then go in SCM changes. Because we have changed the manifest.yml, we need to check in, so click on that. And so we have changed the launch configuration, that is built and deploy, and we have changed the manifest.yml. So I'm going to check in both of this. So click on check in, and I'm going to add comment as added deploy and build stage, and changed the manifest.yml file. Okay, fine. So let's click on deliver. So once you have clicked on deliver, then you click on build and deploy. So now the build stage is running. So if it's running for the first time, it will take a while. Okay, so build was successful. It's taking a while. Because it is getting deployed for the first time, it will take a while. Fine, so the deploy is successful, and we will get a URL for our application. Waiting for that. build is successful. It's not yet shown the URL. I'm waiting for that. Yeah, so here is it. So now couple of things can happen at this stage. You might get a build stage itself as not successful. You might not get a proper build stage. So what things can go wrong at build stage? This I figured out by trial error. It is basically if you click on the stage configuration, you click on the configure stage, and if you go, sorry, click on inputs, and you see the password field. Um, Sometimes your browser auto saves the password against your email ID, and that password can be of your email rather than your Bluemix account. So it can take a wrong password and can give you a error of unauthorized access. So what I would suggest, if you get an error as like that, just remove that password and re-enter your Bluemix password, because when you when it is auto saved, it doesn't distinguishes between password of your email and the password of your Bluemix. So I would say if you get a error like that, like unauthorized access, re-enter your password and click on save, and that should work. uh, yeah, so because I didn't get it, the build was successful, and once the build is successful, the deploy should be should be successful as well. So yeah, so let's click on the URL of the application. Yeah, so we can see the app, and let's try and change, let's add some let us add some item in this list. So going back to the application, click on edit code. um, in order to add an item list, you need to go in source src folder, com, ureceipt, and then in controller, click on homepage controller.java. In this code, go to bottom. Oh, yeah, it's over here. So I'm going to add one more list item in the category. So category list dot add, let's say, okay, anonymous list item. Save it, click on SCM changes, and so we have changed this file. It is reflecting over here. So click on the check-in, and I'm going to add comment as added a list item, oops, list item. Click on deliver. So when you click on deliver, it again starts your build and the deploy process. Click on build and deploy. So the build stage is running. So the build is successful, and then the deploy stage. The red over here, it indicates that for this particular time it is getting deployed. The app will be unavailable. If you click on that URL, it will give you this 404 error because it's still in the deploy stage. So we'll wait for the deploy to get complete. Okay, fine. So deploy is successful. So let's click on the URL. Fine. So we added a list item, and let's see whether it's got added. So yes, anonymous. Fine. So let's try and change the background color for this app. So I'm going back to my project. Click on edit code. Okay, and then go in web content. Click on web.inf, and there is a folder JSP. Click on that. Click on add.jsp because this is the file. Basically it is getting loaded whenever you click on the URL /add. So just click on that file, and yeah, this is the HTML code. So let's search for body. I think so it's down somewhere. Okay, over here. So let's say the background I want to change it to a dark blue. So I'm going to put hex value 0000, let's say AA. Okay, so let's save this. You can also save this by Ctrl S and click on SCM changes. So we just changed this file, so it is getting reflected over here. So click on check-in, and in comment I will write as changed the background color to blue. Let's click on deliver. So click on build and deploy. So the build process is running. So the builds was successful, and let's see deploy. It's taking a while. Fine, so the deploy was successful. Let's click on the URL. Yes, so the background color is successfully changed to blue, and I had previously added a list item as well. Yes, so this is the way you can successfully build and deploy the ureceipt agile project in 2 stages. uh, One more thing I wanted to point out is you might get error called error 500, servlet error. If you get that error even after build and deploy was successful, that is after build and deploy successful, and you click on the URL, you might get a error code called error 500. This that is basically the project error, but that is easy. Just go back to the uh, that is build and deploy. Do again this process, that is build as well as deploy, and that will solve the issue. But the main thing over here you need to take care of is the password field, which I pointed out earlier, and as well as the manifest.yml file. And if you don't configure those things properly, it won't get it will not get built and deployed in 2 stage, and it would again be the same. So follow the procedure what I've given you, and believe me, it will work. And yes, so thank you for watching. Goodbye.